Friends, Brian here for Yes You Can Play Guitar. We're just back at it this week. We're on holidays for a couple of weeks. You got to do that, folks. I'm telling you. Whether you're doing YouTube, a regular job, skydiving, whatever you're doing, you got to take a few weeks off every now and then. It's good to do. Okay? And I know all the people that support me on YouTube and Patreon, they get it, they understand, and they rock. And that's why I do this. So, today I'm going to do a reading your comments. This is going to be a different one. This is going to be a reading the latest comments on all the different videos, giving people a shout out. Because, you know, guys, most of you follow me for my music reactions. Some of you like my sense of humor, which is actually kind of concerning to me. Is there any hope for the future with what's going on in the world and people enjoying my sense of humor? But also, you know, there's more than just reactions on my channel. There's guitar lessons, there's music lessons, some theory lessons. There's, you know, I do videos talking about people giving advice when you're working your way in bands. You know, a lot of disgruntled band people come to my YouTube channel and post their experiences. If you have a nightmare band story, we can talk about that. I give my advice for different situations. All kinds of different things. You know, and it's kind of funny because sometimes what I think some of my best videos, like I posted a video right before the holidays on like my top tips for working bands on how to make money, got 99 views. It's just weird the way this works. But anyway, so I'm going to read all your latest comments. We only have so much time, but I will read some of them and get to some and give you some shout outs, and just so you guys can kind of see the different variety of videos that I do here. So the very first one was on my Nightwish High Hopes reaction by Ron Crowder, 4320. Floor wasn't with Nightwish on this tour. Tarja was still the vocalist. Okay, I remember that was a great, amazing song, and it was great because, you know, Empu did a guitar solo, which was fantastic. I'm just going to move the camera a little closer. I don't know if you guys will find that disturbing or not. But I remember it was a fantastic song. It was like a tribute to Pink Floyd. It was really good. So thank you for that, Ron. Silex 770. Trident is one of my favorite bands. I'd very much recommend Spoopy or Continue. Ambivalent is heavily bass focused, but their songs have great range. Thanks for the reaction. Well, thank you, Silex. It was a very bassy song, very funky, and it was quite good. Trident. You know, when I hear Trident, I think of either the thing that Aquaman throws or a popular gum back here in Canada in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, that's how old I am. Jeremy and Rez Stevenson, 3 days ago. This is on my reaction to famous guitarist on Prince. That video has gotten a lot of views, man. I can't stand it either. Whoever covered Prince songs, full stop, but especially such a classic, which is Purple Rain. I actually can't stand it. It really ticks him off. Yeah, Prince was one of a kind, and yeah. So I hear you, Jeremy, on that. I'm not a big fan. You know, like anyone who's been following this channel, I've done a lot of Prince reactions. The Prince community has been very good to me in my channel, also on Patreon. The one problem we're having with the whole Prince thing right now, though, is that anything you post with Prince that goes to YouTube now, it gets blocked. Or you start to have problems with it. So, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, when I do any type of Prince material now, I just upload it straight to YouTube. So, Jeremy, if you're looking for extra content, you can check out... I upload to YouTube. I upload it to Patreon. Because, so, unfortunately, that's kind of a problem right now with some of the Prince material I'm finding. He was an amazing musician, and yeah, and even for me, some might argue that I'm somewhat of a virtuoso-istic guitar player. I've seen some really high-end, amazing, somewhat famous guitar players do covers of Purple Rain where they try and throw in the fancy licks and stuff. It just doesn't work. It's just, he had it for that song, and when other people try and cover it, it's just, ugh. We even did a reaction to, I think it was a Prince tribute act in Las Vegas, and the guy picked up the guitar and tried to do the solo, and his guitar playing was awful. I actually had to stop the reaction halfway through. So, yeah. So I hear you, Jeremy, but I really appreciate it. I'm digging your channel, man. You're definitely my favorite Prince reaction guy. Anyways, regards from the UK. No, I commented on this video 6 months ago. I've had something to say this whole time. So, thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it. But that's kind of what's going on with the Prince reactions. But I still try and do some Prince material. I try and get some stuff up. I still have a lot of fans of Prince who are on my Patreon who are quite kind to me and very supportive, so means a lot. Marcus Vinicius, hold that musician class. I'm not quite sure what he's talking about. This is my reaction to the song from Vitalism, Pagan Part 2. I remember this band was incredible. They kind of blew me away. The video production was amazing. They were like on the ocean, on this big cliff or rock or something. If I remember correctly, the band was from Brazil, and I think they've since disbanded. But they were an amazing band. Sean Welch, this is to my top red flags playing in a band. Okay, not to be negative. I've had some great experiences playing in band, but I've had some really bad ones too. When I was younger and much more naive, so I like to pass that information on to some of you musicians out there. Sometimes when you're in a band and things aren't going right, or you're picking up, you're seeing things and things are starting to bug you and you're not quite sure what's going on, you might want to check out some of those videos. From Sean Welch, here's a question. If you can't get a drummer, ever thought of a drum machine? You can program songs to the last beat. Okay, you can't go off on a tangent, but how many cover bands actually do that? Any thoughts? So, Sean, it's funny. I remember a friend of mine that I played in a band with, this is back in like 93 or 94. He suggested that to me. He said, we should just get a drum machine and, less people to deal with. I know some bands that have done that or have done sequencing and stuff. And, some bands, to my knowledge, have done that. It might change a little bit of the dynamics on stage to actually playing with a real drummer. You would make more money because you have less people to pay for sure. But although you could do that and probably, if you're talented enough, figure it out and do a good job live with that. But there would be something missing because, sometimes when you have the band and you got that real groove happening, there's something there with that. But, I've considered it in the past, but it would have its own set of challenges for sure. So, thank you, Sean. My upcoming for my answer. Okay, so we have another friend here from Indonesia, a fan of Bim Finger, liking the video. That's fantastic. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about me being on a holiday. Letting everyone know, because sometimes if you have a busy channel and you take a week or two off, sometimes people are like, hey man, what's going on? Just want to let everyone know I was taking some well-needed holidays. So Marcelo, have a good holiday. We will be here waiting. Enjoy life. We did. Thank you, you too. Again, this is kind of funny because people now know me for my reactions, but I posted a lot of band advice videos that are just starting to get traction now, like a year or so later. Close Fritsch. Well, there was this bass player who got so drunk, he's talking about, again, my top red flags playing in a band. There was this bass player who got so drunk that he had to try playing while lying down on the stage. Didn't work so great musically, but the comedy factor was certainly there. Too funny. Shades in Gray. This is going to why I'd rather be a YouTube guitarist than play in a band video. Again, I guess I must have been coming across as a lot of negative. Shades in Gray just got back from a late night gig. It was a 2-hour drive back home from about 100 miles out. I got home at 3 a.m. dropping off the singer and drummer. I'm 41. It literally took me 3 days to get back into a normal physical and mental state of being. I hear you. Great post. Shades in Gray. And, and I know it's kind of funny because I know the last band I played in professionally was 10 years ago. And actually one of the members recently commented on one of my videos that I'm going to get to in a few minutes. They were a great band. It was very professional. There was a bit of a distance involved, and it did play a bit of a factor in one of my decisions, in my decision to kind of leave the band. But the travel is hard. The travel is hard, I was at a weird period in my life when I was 40. Now I'm 50. You guys probably know I've really been stepping up, putting more of an effort into my health, getting to the gym, eating well, dropping some weight. But even when we were on the holidays, my fiance and I, we had a lot of driving. Like one of our trips was 10 hours straight, and you feel that after, man. So I hear you. The travel it gets tough. It gets tough as you get older. When you're in your 20s, you don't care. You can say, okay, I'm going to drive 24 hours straight. Who cares? Yeah, I'll sleep 2 hours. No problem. Well, when you get older, it kind of changes. Okay, Ginger, Pit of Consciousness, live reaction. So Daniel VC PDFP. The best Ginger song, in my opinion. Amazingly good. I agree, Daniel. It was fantastic. Okay, this is a comment. It's kind of funny because sometimes I'll get comments from like videos from a year or two ago. And I'm kind of going, what the hell was that all about again? So, Red Center. Well, the one thing everyone so far is we're talking about Polyphia. When they did that video with Steve Vai, it was called Ego Death. I did a reaction to it. He goes, well, the one thing everything so far is missed is that the chair dubbed to Steve's throne is seen throughout the video, starting the first movement with Tim, then with his companion guitar player in the second movement, and lastly with Steve in the third movement. Okay, great post. Appreciate that very much. My good friend Ed. Now, Ed is in Hong Kong, and he's just commenting on my post saying, hey, we're going on holidays for 2 weeks. Bro, it's been so freaking hot here the past couple of days, and my AC in my bedroom is acting... he's having problems with his AC. That's Hong Kong, okay? I'm in Canada, okay? And when we were gone on our holidays, it was exceeding 40 degrees with the humidity. Usually there's a lot of, 32, 30 degree weather, but then you add the humidity. I've done some time down in the States, in the Midwest too, where in the middle of the summer where it's been 50 degrees with the humidity. I couldn't imagine what it's like in Hong Kong. Ed is a good friend. And yeah, Ed's a great guy. Hope you're hanging in there, Ed. Okay, this is Electric 8668. You should be... smaller image during this reaction. This is my reaction to the Prince 2007 ALMA Awards reaction. So, you mean like this? How do you like them apples? Does this work for you? Yeah, no, sometimes I have people saying, just keep it the way it is. Other people saying, yeah, you should be kind of non-existent. It's about Prince. I just do the best I can, try and make everyone happy. So, yeah, but I appreciate it. Prince, all the critics love you, live in Montreal reaction. Svein Kajener. Thank you, very good. Thank you too, Svein. Prince, I love Bizarre live with Sheila E reaction. So this was some time ago when I recorded that. But I remember the song at AJJBS7580. I love your comments. James Brown, spot on. Never thought of that, but yes. But now in the name of all good, how are you able to sit so still? There's some head movement, please. It is too funky to sit that focused. When did I record that one? Trying to remember now. Prince, Detroit 2004 reaction. Scott Clark. Here's one for you, not necessarily to do a video, but I think you might like it. This is Prince at Hop Farm 2001, a concert I went to. The venue had some sound problems all day. Prince was 30 minutes late to the stage because they were trying to sort out the sound. As the crowd got restless, Prince came on, played the first song, kept the crowd engaged, but also relayed feedback to the sound desk and fixed the sound within one song in front of 50,000 people. Scott, I don't know if you know this, but we did an in-depth interview with Scotty Baldwin. He was the live sound engineer for Prince for many years. It was an amazing interview, if I may say. A lot of insights there. I think you'd like it if you haven't seen it. The second part was 20 minutes in. During the Little Red Corvette, that's the best call and response I've ever heard. So he has a link. So I'm going to copy the link. And I'm going to check it out. I can't guarantee that I can... If I can't post it on YouTube, I will post it... I will post it on Patreon. That's the best I can do, guys. It's the Prince stuff has gotten really kind of funky, no pun intended, with some of how it's going with that. So, but I will check that out, Scott. I appreciate it. Prince, Detroit 2004. Again, these are like really old reactions. When you're a YouTuber, it's hard reacting to old videos because you look at the production of your videos and going, oh my God. But Scott Clark, I love John Blackwell Jr. He was awesome. He is awesome. We had a really interesting chat with Morris Hayes. We have an interview of that up where he talks about John Blackwell too. It was pretty cool. Francis Dahl, The Big Push Precious reaction. Now, I hadn't done a reaction to Ren and The Big Push for some time. And I was getting a lot of requests for it. So I did this one. This is one of the ones I posted right before I took holidays 2 weeks ago. And I thought the song was incredible. One thing that Ren, he's so talented at many things. As a lead guitar player, I'd kind of, but he's a phenomenal musician. But in that one video, I was just like, I hate saying anything negative about anything. Someone so talented as Ren, but the lead was a little rough on that one. But Phenomenal musician. Francis Dahl. Ren just completed his first solo stage performance at Secret Garden Party. I was there and it was wonderful. His health is better after 18 months of treatment for autoimmunity and brain damage. His creative juices are flowing, a lot of things in the pipeline. We'd love for you to react to What Kind of Woman Is This? You're old enough to get all the covers, I would imagine. Hendrix, Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy. Okay, thank you, Francis. Again, all my band advice videos are starting to really get traction here, guys, 2 years later. Sup with that? John, my top red flags playing in a band. I like to avoid bands that have unnecessary process because the guys in the band want an excuse to get away from the wife and kids and hang out and drink beer. I have seen that myself, John. Again, it gets into a very big discussion. There's nothing wrong with if you want to just get together with the boys on the weekend and drink or smoke something and just play for fun. The problem where it gets a little kind of problematic is that when that's what you want to do, but you're involving professional musicians and the agreement is to go out and be a professional band. It even gets more problematic when those habits start happening on stage and it's really pulling down the presentation. It's a very interesting thing. I talk a lot about it in those videos, so I won't take up much time here on this, but I have seen that myself, for sure, okay? The Stone Roses, Waterfall 2013. We got to get back to doing some Stone Roses. My good friend Mark from the UK, he suggested that to me. And Alam Bryant said that was superb. Thank you. We got to do some more Stone Roses, guys. You call it right here. Comment below what Stone Roses are we going to react to next. This was another one. Roy Clark, Malagena. That video got a lot of views. From David Walker, his right hand technique is Django level, but to keep it flowing and fluid at that speed is mind blowing. Any stumble or hesitation or overstretching stands out like a sore thumb. It's true. Phenomenal player. That blew me away watching that. The band that is Dave. This is another kind of a negative video that I posted about how to quit a band the proper way. Quitting a band is so different to each individual. Very true. And the next one, same video from Adam Kanak, 47. Not getting into the issues is exactly what breaks bands. I feel that is some of the worst advice I've ever seen. Well, Adam, sorry, when you have people sitting on bad feelings, not expressing them and letting them rot inside, what causes it? That's what causes the drama and that's what causes hostility. Getting into the issue is a sign of true respect. It's a sign that while potentially you don't want to be part of this band anymore, you still see that they can make it work, provide on some things. Adam, I hear what you're saying, but I think I'm actually giving good advice. There's so many variables where I can see what you're saying, but you have to see what I'm saying. Sometimes you're in bands where you try to bring up the issues or you actually talk to the people, but it's like talking to the wall. Oh yeah. And then it doesn't help anything, or then you have some people that you can't talk to. And then you have some people that just don't give a shit. You can say, hey, I've invested time, money, effort into this, and you're not keeping band agreements, but somehow you're the a-hole. So I hear what you're saying, but I definitely don't agree with you saying that I'm giving bad advice. This is life experience that I've been through, and there's so many variables with people out there. I'm only seeing things from my perspective. Usually, to my recollection, anytime I did leave a band, for the most part, unless it was something really bad happened, I did vocalize my concerns. I did try to talk. I remember one band in particular, a really nice guy who ran the band, and we had some issues. We had a bass player who wasn't that good, but was also really singing out of key backup vocals. And I kept voicing my concerns, and he was the band leader, and he just didn't want to address it with this person, and we ended up on a live performance on TV, and it was awful. And after that, I told him, I said, I can't do this. This isn't he told me, he said, maybe you need to lower your expectations, Brian. And I thought, I need to lower my expectations to accept out-of-key backup vocals? And no. Embarrassing performances? No. So there's a lot of variables here, Adam. I could get into a big chat with it. But you know what? If you want to email me, maybe sometime we'll do like a Zoom discussion we can put on YouTube about it. But most of the time, unless it was a really bad situation where you just couldn't say anything, I always try to verbalize my concerns, especially if I had a lot of money, time, and investment in it as a business. So, and you know what, Adam? Some people just don't get it. They just don't get it. They'll tell you, hey, I want this, I want to do all these things. But once they get into the situation, I often say it's like a relationship. A lot of people pretend to be something they're not, or tell you all what you want to hear in the beginning, but once it gets going, that's not who they are. If you look at a lot of the dating website apps out there, like when people make their profiles up, are they truthful with all their negative qualities? Hey, I'm an alcoholic, I'm into drugs, I'm really lazy, I might, be cool for the first while, but then I kind of change. So I don't agree with your post, but I appreciate you watching and giving your opinion. Okay, the next one, Prince 2007 Super Bowl reaction. Red_5, the song in the medley is Proud Mary by CCR. Yes, it is. Steven Seagal Blues Jam. You guys like this? I'm just saying it's okay. I'm not saying he blew me away or anything, but it was okay. He's got a weird style with his thumb and everything, but it's okay. William Mings. He obviously has fake hair. He was going bald on top in the late 80s. Okay. I had hair in the 80s, but I started going bald in the 2000s. The Big Push, heart with a medical sign in it. I know I had some cardiac tests done last fall. I know I'm in good. Everything's good, but Bridget Rouleau, I appreciate that. Thank you. Stevie Ray Vaughan. This was one of my first reactions. User NK. You really need to upgrade your audio. Wow, it is garbage on Play with my system. And yes, I have a great system. I actually think there were a bit of audio issues with this. So, but I'm just going to, just out of curiosity, when I get posts like this, I'm just going to click on his Douglas Druig. Doug does not have any content or anything, but more about this channel. Okay, he started it a year ago. So, well, anyway, Doug, I appreciate it. But I do remember there was a bit of issue with that one. It was one of my first reactions. Love Bites. We Are the Resurrection reaction. Randy Peters. Yes, Michael Romeo. He is an amazing, one of the GOATs, guitar player for the amazing band Symphony X. I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it. Divide and Conquer riffage. Very cool. Again, my top red flags. I gotta see how many views that video is getting because a lot of people are commenting on it. Patrick Tecklenburg, are you good with playing Hot Rods in the tiny room? Yeah, shows up to gig without hot. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, Patrick. I'm sure there's some humor in there that I'm not getting. My good friend, the Cyber Mantis, when I talk about top tips for making money, he's just letting me know about the new Love Bites video that just came out. That I recorded it today. It'll be out this week. H. Desprez, Hervé, my good friend. This is one of mine videos for when you know it's time to leave a band. Just found you again. Very happy you're active and wish you all the best. Signed, a past band member. So, Mr. Desprez, Hervé, his name was. He was in the last band I played professionally with over 10 years ago. Hervé was a great guy. That band was a really, really good experience, and I ended my live professional playing on a really good note with those guys. They were professional. They got it. We played some amazing gigs. I was paid very well. And I liked all the guys. I actually missed them. I've actually recently been in touch with the singer. And I miss those guys. So it was really wonderful to hear from Hervé here. I've been out of touch with him for some time. I do know that he's into astronomy. He actually has quite the... what are those things, with the big telescopes, setups? I'd actually like to check it out sometime. I'm really into UFOs. We live out in the middle of nowhere. There's not much light pollution. We've seen some weird stuff in the sky, but that's not what this channel's about, so I'm not going to get into that. But this was very nice to hear from Hervé, and it'd be good to see him again sometime. This was a very nice surprise. Okay, Ginger Captain Clock, live, 2008 reaction. Okay, this will be our last comment that we'll read for this one. It's by Not Important. I know you really cannot tell what the song structure is at all from this kind of video. I implore you, please watch Roman's guitar playthrough of this song. Without the vocals, the riffs are absolutely incredible when you can actually discern what they are. I really appreciate that. I made a joke the other day about, you know, in the education world for kids now, they should just lock kids in a room for math class and make them listen to Ginger and Tool and make them count the time signatures. But I've actually had many people mention that to me about Roman's playthrough. I know Ginger, they tune a little differently, and I've had several people mention their tuning. I can't remember it, but I will do that. That is going to be on our agenda to check out. So that is our latest reading, your latest comments, covering a variety of different videos. And again, a shout out to everyone. I appreciate all the support. You guys rock. Again, thank you for all the likes, the comments, the subscribes, and for those of you that want to check out my Patreon, I have a reaction Patreon community. I have a guitar community, which is more guitar tips, lessons, and all that stuff. I've actually just reopened it, and I'm firing it back up for all kinds of extra content for you guitar players out there too. So reaction community on Patreon for people that are into my reactions, and a guitar community for all the guitar players out there, or people learning guitar or taking up guitar. So awesome. We will see you next time, guys. And remember, press hard but practice smart. We'll see you soon.